Yes, this is a child with Asperger's, which is very common. It's a lower level form of, or it's a high functioning form of autism, is what it is. And this kid was having a lot of trouble at school. It was mainly behavioral, but definitely behind just the power curve cognitively. And he presented with some pretty basic things, and after going through some experimentation, what we found was that if we worked with his detoxification processes, he could function better on a day-to-day basis. And the parents, over the course of the time, said, yeah, he's doing better. It wasn't, they weren't amazed with the process. And after a year, they went to a family reunion, and they said every person at the family reunion came up to them and said, what are you doing with Bo? Like, what's up with Bo? How'd you do that? They didn't recognize the change. They thought, again, that's just normal development, That's what he's supposed to do at this time. They didn't recognize how huge a change this kid had until they took him somewhere where other people knew him but hadn't seen him in a while. And then they see him and they go, that kid's different.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just, it was chelation. I don't even know what he was toxic with. I didn't need to know what he was toxic with. The major difference with that kid was we pulled some kind of heavy metal out of him and he was higher functioning. Now what we can do is draw the association between those things. If we pull heavy metal out and he becomes higher functioning, what does that mean? It means that metal was probably the source of the dysfunction in the first place, which is very common with kids on the autism spectrum to have defects, particularly in methylation, but in their detoxification processes. So one of the 6 major liver detoxification processes is methylation, and a third of the population in the United States has a genetic defect in methylation, and one of 2 major parts of this methylation process. And so by supporting this process as well as the other detoxification processes, what we can do is ensure that toxic elements don't end up in brain causing developmental delay and negative changes.